But we have T. This is a think piece. I am curious about your thoughts on this because it seemed to be a hotly debated topic. And this is art tracing for tattoos. Do you guys think tracing art for a tattoo is okay or not? So we have this tattoo artist who goes by the name of Alina.Noor. So they show the original artwork and a lot of different examples of people who have traced over, copied, and tattooed their original piece. Again, this is the original. And people seem like 50-50 about this. In the comments for Alina's reel, Alina writes, I keep seeing copies of this design. I even come across them in person on the streets of different cities and countries. It's been 4 years since I first posted this tattoo design on Instagram, and I definitely didn't expect it to become so popular. Of course, I'm not happy when other tattooers copy my work without asking and make money off my intellectual property. But this is the reality we face. By now, I've even gotten used to it. However, here's an important reminder for tattoo artists. Every image on the internet has an author. Just because an illustration is publicly available doesn't mean you can use it without permission. It's no different from taking an item off a shelf without paying for it. Focus on improving your own artistic skills, building up your own name brand instead of copying somebody else's work. Yes, it's harder and takes more time, but trust me, creating unique designs will bring you far more success in the long run. Finding your own style is challenging, but it's the key to becoming a true tattoo artist and creator. If you are a beginner artist and want to work in developing your style, join my free community. Candy 50-50. Tattooing is usually people being tattooed with pictures and photos of things that have been around for 100 of years. It seems like there's only a problem if you're tattooing somebody's personal tattoos. That's true too. Yeah, I would say, okay, look, like if you want to get a peony or a rose tattoo, right? Like I would hope the artist drew the rose yourself, but like if you want like a photorealistic tattoo of a rose, or like even better, a photorealistic tattoo of your dog, right? That is just the artist like basically taking that photo and like transferring it over to your body through their artistic vision. If it's artwork, it's a little different though. Like actual art, you know, I'm not talking like a picture of your dog. So we have this user writing, I understand your frustration. It has happened to me numerous times and will continue to happen. Let's be realistic. If somebody came to me wanting the Mona Lisa portrait, I would not turn them away due to it not being my original art. Please tell me you understand that. If you share your art on the internet, you share your art. People can be unique and create at the same time and also accommodate the client. Is it right? I don't know. Are people still gonna get tattooed? Yes. So being upset about it only hurts yourself, and you seem far too creative and intelligent to worry about making sure you get credit for a design you set free into the world. So I'm like gonna take a much more like general approach to this because I myself do not have tattoos. So I will not be qualified into kind of like talking about tattoos. I can only talk about it from like a general perspective, right? But there is a sentiment kind of about like what this person wrote, you know, if you make art, you put it out into the world. So people will take it. Do I agree with that sentiment in the general art section, in the general art side? I don't really agree as much, you know, like I feel like that sentiment is kind of the same thing as like, hey, if you plant flowers in your yard, then it's okay for people to cut your flowers and take it with them. You know, like me planting flowers in my front yard doesn't mean I'm planting flowers for you to yoink for yourself. Okay, I'm planting them for me to look at. It's just other people walking by can also see the flowers. So I view it in kind of the same way as art. Like if I make art and I post it online, I agree for you to look at it. I didn't agree for you to take it. For any regards, tattoo or putting it on a postcard or printing it out, hanging it up in your room. I put it out there so your eyeballs could look at it. I planted flowers in my yard so your eyeballs could look at the flowers. Another commenter writes, people saying, quote, it's making you popular, end quote. You should be happy about this. That's the client's choice. It's an honor for you to be copied. Your fault. You shared it, end quote. Have zero ethics. Other people say, I don't think you can steal a tattoo. It's like saying people stole the first rose tattoo or the first Zeus tattoo. You see how that doesn't make any sense? Okay, again, I don't have a tattoo, right? But I would imagine, I hope that's how it would happen. Either you draw it yourself, or if you don't have any artistic ability, right? Because, you know, some people just don't. Then you bring ideas to your tattoo artist and they take your ideas and they make something unique for you. But you don't pull up a Pinterest image and are like, yeah, put that on my leg. Another person writes, 1. There's nothing wrong with wanting this design, but any reputable artist will change it to fit their style so it's unique and inspired by the original, but not a direct copy. 2. A lot of tattoo designs are designed for a specific client. It has meanings for that client where the copies don't carry that over. I'm not a tattoo artist, but I designed several of my own tattoos, and they have deep sentimental meaning to me. If I posted one online and later saw it copied exactly, I'd be really upset as I put a lot of unique thought into making them unique and meaningful to me personally. 3. A lot of artists do sell their work artwork to be copied. Both actual tattooers and artists who create tattoo designs by just copying anyways. You're both ignoring the artist's intent and refusing to support fellow tattoo artists. If you can't afford to pay this, you shouldn't get the tattoo. Same principle as if you can't afford the tip, then you can't afford the meal. So it sucks for the artist and it sucks for the original clients. Candy, really? Usually people say, I want this tattoo and that's it. If you don't do it, I'll go somewhere else. Somebody will do it for the money. That's true. I mean, it's the same thing as kids getting tattoos, right? There was the case, oh my God, this was a whole other thing on TikTok, but there was a case of a child getting a tattoo because the parents wanted the kid to get a tattoo and the parents consented and the tattoo artist did it. A lot of people were mad at the tattoo artist for tattooing the child, but the tattoo artist was like, well, the parents were clear that they were going to go to every single tattoo shop until somebody agreed. And they wanted this like big ugly tattoo for their kid. The tattoo artist agreed to do the tattoo, but agreed to do like a much more smaller and toned down design because their logic was, hey, if I do it, I can at least talk some sense into these bozos to give like a much more appropriate design than what they were originally gunning for. Another person comments, do you want us to tattoo your watermark? I'm confused. I think this commenter is just being purposely ignorant. The thing is not tattoo their name under your tattoo. It is don't directly one for one take the image, turn it into a stencil, stick it on your leg and make somebody tattoo it. You know, like I'm pretty sure it sounds like the sentiment is, hey, if you like the idea of a Russian nesting doll of like a girl's face with kind of like a devil inside it, just do a spin on it. Not this literal exact tattoo with pixel by pixel accuracy. And another commenter writes, just for some transparency, this piece is on several Pinterest flash tattoo pages. So somebody copied it, put it on a flash page, and it got reposted on a very popular website hundreds of times. Sucks, but what can you really do? Can't blame the artists who believed that it was a simple flash piece brought in by a client from Pinterest. I'm sure most of them had no previous knowledge that it was supposed to be a one-of-one unique design. There are many, many things in anime and the art world in general that look exactly like this, as well as predating this piece. This sparks another conversation as well, but in my personal opinion, Pinterest is not a reference source, okay? I like using Pinterest to look at pretty art to get inspiration, but Pinterest does not cite the source. Like notoriously people pin shit all the time without citing the source, okay? So if you use Pinterest as your source, it's more egregious than using Wikipedia as your source, you know, like Wikipedia being another compilation of stuff that people can open source some info to. At least back in the day when I was in school, it was like that. I don't know if Wikipedia has changed. Pinterest is not a source, okay? The artist has clearly uploaded the art somewhere else. I have bought the right to art for tattoo designs and then let my artist tweak it to their style. See, like in my opinion, as somebody without a tattoo, that's how I imagine it would happen, right? Like you ethically acquire the license and the right to use the artwork, and then, you know, the tattoo artists put their own spin on it to make it a little bit more unique as well, and then you get it inked onto your skin. But what do? I don't have a tattoo. But yeah, we have, you know, some videos like this, you know, this one by Alyssa J Tattoo. How I steal tattoos the right way. They show the artwork their client wanted, and then, oh look, they did their own rendition of it. And then they inked their own rendition onto the clients. And in the caption, Alyssa writes, clickbait alert. When I got this tattoo request, I immediately recognized these tattoos from Pinterest. I later found out they were Ellen Mellon tattoos, custom designs that I've seen replicated all over the internet. Tattooers, it is so simple. Just redraw the design. It is so much more fulfilling artistically to draw your own design you are proud of for your clients, where they're paying you to create them something that is one of a kind. I get the comment a lot. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery, end quote, but they always forget the end of the quote. That mediocrity can pay to greatness. Okay, that's enough rants for me. Now back to regularly scheduled content. And people in the comments were angry. And people are like, yo, you do realize also the client has to agree before she tattoos it onto them. Here's Poking Tiger making a post, how I steal designs the right way. Then they show the client's references, right? Lucky cat with tassels. You can see the example artwork that they wanted. And then, oh, it's so cute. This is what Poking Tiger drew, the little cat with the ribbons around it and the sakuras. So pretty. Also, this is so sad. This is Alyssa J Tattoo, showcasing when you spend hours drawing a custom design for your client and then it gets copied. And look at all these whimsical frogs with wings on a mushroom. It's just so sad. And then Alyssa writes, rants, the reality of Pinterest tattoos. I never gave permission for my frog tattoo to be uploaded to Pinterest, and since then it has spawned countless amounts of copies. A lot of people say, quote, that's what you get for posting your tattoos online, end quote. But I fail to see an alternative. The tattoo industry now relies heavily on social media to gain clientele, and with that is posting your work. So tell me, what should I do if I want to prevent my work from getting stolen? If I'm honest, it's not the stealing that bothers me. It's the fact that my clients pay me for my time and art to create a custom design for them and only them. They come to me because they think they're paying for their own perfect design just for them. I can't imagine how it feels for your tattoo to be on somebody else without you knowing. And I understand that people who get tattooed aren't aware of tattooist etiquette and will go to whomever will do the tattoo for them. That's fine. But I wish tattooists will start respecting their art form a bit more and prioritize art over money and copying art from Pinterest with low effort just to make a quick buck. I feel for the people who have copied my frog tattoo, as a lot of them are probably advertised as flash. They never look as good as the original, which is honestly why it doesn't bother me that much, and end up with a botched tattoo. Moral of the story is there's nothing we can do to stop tattoo theft unless tattoo artists actually start respecting their craft. Sally Scorpio writes, I know a couple of shops that literally say, email us what you found on Pinterest and we can stencil it up for you. And Angelita writes, I'm an apprentice and there are artists who have copied my designs before I've even been able to tattoo them myself. Another person writes, was so excited for my tattoo just to find the artist took it off Google. It's been 10 years and I never got it finished because I feel terrible, but it's a huge insecurity. And another person writes, just a genuine question, absolutely no hate. But where are we supposed to get custom tattoo designs if we're not supposed to take inspiration off of Pinterest? And Nia's Graveyard responds, keyword inspiration. As long as you don't directly copy the concept and art, then you're good. Add your own touch or have the tattoo artist add their own flair. I would say, look, like same thing, right? If you like the idea of a whimsical frog on a mushroom, that's totally chill. Just don't trace pixel for pixel this one, which is the one that Alyssa made. But yeah, I'm curious about what you guys think about the ethics of tattoo art. Do you think it's bad to like trace somebody's art for a tattoo? If you really like the design, in my opinion, that doesn't justify tracing. The amount you like the artwork doesn't justify the bad deed. But that is some people's defense. Do you think that if you take your artwork and you post it online, then you can't be surprised that people traced it? I'm curious about your thoughts. I don't have a tattoo.